You wake up in the morning and think, am I going to be alive tonight, tomorrow? You have to exist. Right now, I live in limbo. You can't survive before existing. Now I'm surviving. But how much longer should I continue to just be surviving? I'm a human being.
This man is 37 years old. He left Zimbabwe 17 years ago because he was badly beaten by police and the economy was in free fall. He came on a visitor's visa, then applied for asylum. He now lives in Glasgow with no legal status in a hostel provided by a charity. He didn't want to show his face and asked us to call him Shang. This is the story of a life lived in the shadows. You said you want to be a normal person. Are you not a normal person?
Nah. I may have blood in my body, maybe speaking to you right now, but a normal person would be going through what I'm going through.
What do you mean? Explain.
Normal people don't focus on surviving or existing. Normal people focus on day-to-day life. Walking your dog, going to the cinema, paying for something in a shop. I can hardly pay for things in a shop because I hardly have money.
Pew Research Center says that 1 in 65 people in the UK could be described as illegal. Britain hosts the highest number of any country in the EU. Some are fleeing persecution or war. Others are simply looking for a better life. I also came here seeking asylum. My country, Somalia, was in the grip of a bloody civil war, so I fled to Britain. Shang and I came to the UK around the same time. Both of us applied for asylum. The Home Office accepted my application. His was rejected. After that, our lives took very different paths. And try and explain to us that the difference between someone who has a passport or refugee status and someone like you, the difference between...
The difference is that you can wake up in the morning, go to the bank, open an account. You can get a job, you can get your benefits, you can go buy anything, you can travel. I can't work, I can't get a license. I can't open a bank account. I can't even get married. How sad is that?
Shang does cash-in-hand jobs when he can and makes around £30 a week, but he survives mainly by visiting food banks. Today, he's cooking some tastes of home with his friend Mohammed. Mohammed arrived as a refugee from Burundi and was granted the right to stay in Britain.
Oh, there's oil coming off the fat coming off the meat itself.
He's been struggling, to be honest. Now, I've seen it all. I don't know what we'll do, but it's hard for him. You know, because what I know, he's been here since 21, isn't it?
20.
20. Now he's 34?
37.
37. And that just shows, from a young age, teenager, now he's becoming an older man. He's just living like his own baby. And I've got my mom, my family, so that's a big difference, which he doesn't have nobody here. He hasn't seen his mom since he was 20.
I got some lamb, because obviously there's no goat around, you know, I'm a kind of goat kind of guy. So lamb, let it simmer away, you know what I'm saying, let it go. Because I used to cook back home when I was young. In a way, nostalgia sets in, you know, seeing as I ain't been home for a long time in same family. But at the same time, man, I love it.
Shang isn't alone. The latest figures suggest that there are around 1 million people living in the UK who don't have the legal rights to be in this country, but they live amongst us. They could be your neighbors, sitting next to you on the bus, or maybe behind you in the queue at your local supermarket. But they live in constant fear. With one wrong move or pure bad luck, their lives could change in an instant. The biggest worry for people like Shang is that they could be picked up by authorities and deported at any moment.
If you tell someone your vulnerable spots, how do you know they're not going to use them against you? So I don't really need that. Just try and keep it smooth, keep it tight, keep it moving. Like I told you, trust no one, suspect everybody.
There is one place where he does feel safe, his friend Henry's barbershop.
How you doing, boss man? Yeah, man. We're playing the same team that destroyed us when we were hosting at home, Valencia, man.
Oh, yeah.
A shared love of football brought them together, but their friendship goes much further.
It's only certain people are going to know my circumstances and certain people I feel comfortable with. And he happens to be at the top of that list.
Henry likes to lend an ear to all his customers.
For example, someone will come and say, oh man, my girlfriend, my wife is giving me blah, I'm doing that, blah, blah, blah. What can I say? Hey bro, take it easy.
But in this public space, there is one topic they still avoid.
People don't normally bring their private stuff out.
Like that. So people are happy to talk about their wives, but not their documents?
Of course. 100%.
Really?
Yeah.
Documents can define who they are. In the eyes of the law, they are simply illegal. But for Shang and many others like him, that's a dirty word. He says he's undocumented. Once a week, Shang meets with a small group of refugees and failed asylum seekers. It's a support group run by the Red Cross.
We also see people who have been through the process and been refused, but then who can't go home through no fault of their own. And so in those instances, we think it's absolutely right that those people should be granted status to be in the UK so they can work, so they can access support, because otherwise they're just left in this limbo that they can never get out of.
Even after all these years, Shang believes he will be in danger if he returns to Zimbabwe. But here at least, they can share stories without fear.
Expressing your feelings and what's happening to you, it helps in different ways, you know, but just talking about it, you know that he's not the only one, she's not the only one, I'm not the only one. It's just, it kind of gives that small reprieve.
Ahmed fled the war in Syria and arrived in Britain 4 years ago.
I was a journalist.
A journalist in Syria?
I had very good life. I had 3 luxury houses. I had best life, I think. But no. I am nothing now.
Don't say that. You are someone, man. Come on. You are someone. Don't say that. Okay? Don't say that, man.
Shang too is someone, but after almost 2 decades in Britain, he feels it's still a hostile environment. An invisible man in a country that refuses to see him.